The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. The Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Greetings. I've lost concentration.
How do you do? Oops, where's my head? Not even a...
Greetings. Well, that didn't work. My weapon isn't working.
Greetings. Charmed, I'm sure. Greetings.
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 How do you do?
Greetings.
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 Deep beneath the Frostback Mountains sits Orzammar, largest and proudest of the two remaining dwarven cities. Once the seat of an underground empire, Orzammar now stands alone, cut off from the world by the Darkspawn, still clinging to the memory of its former glory. Below the vast statues and gilded halls where the noble families play at politics, the lower castes live in their shadows, scurrying to serve like their ancestors before them. Below that is you. You are casteless, the dirty secret staining Orzammar's perfect society, forced, along with your sister, to sell your services to the crime lord Barat. To the rest of Orzammar, you are proof that the casteless deserve their fate. But you know you do what you have to, the same as everyone, just to survive.
I can't keep gambling on you forever, Precious. You've got a sweet look. Something to light a man on fire. But you gotta make it count.
Please, Barat. Can we not do this in front of my brother?
Why not? He knows the slope of the land, don't you, boy? You told me a lot of things, not one of which meant more than a fart in the middens. Before me, your sister was just another duster. Now check her out. Braids down to here, gold-capped teeth. She can recite elf poetry and play the string harp. Every man's dream. All she's gotta do is find a lord, squeeze out some kid who looks like him, and we're all living the easy life in the Diamond Quarter.
Please, don't get involved. You know that never goes well.
I'll treat her however I like, as long as you both eat off my plate. You keep your head down and say aye to any job I decide is low enough for scum like you. In return, I put out coins so you can doll yourself up and get a belly full of some nobleman's brat. Then you both go free, and I get to join the family and be called my lord for the rest of the little prince's life. Checking on my investments, and right now, they don't bear much gold. I'm giving you another week, Precious. If you haven't found a patron, you're back to sweeping streets.
But I have. I've met someone. That is, I didn't want to promise, but he seemed interested.
Everyone needs me. Because everyone has things they want, and my Carter, we're the ones who provide. Until you can do that, you're nothing but my errand boy. So shut up and do as you're told. Good guess. Your buddy Lesky's waiting outside. He knows what I'll need from you today. Don't even think about bungling this job. Your whole family's on loose sand with me right now. And I know you don't have anywhere else to turn.
I'm sorry you had to see that. Just be careful about showing him. You've been lucky so far. He thinks it's funny when you and Lesky get vulgar. Some of the nobles I've met, they'd as soon have your head for speaking your mind. That's why I didn't tell you. Barat's been warning me ever since 2 of his other girls found patrons at Lord Harrimont's reception. They've been getting gifts already. Lord Rooston gave Elsie a surface silk gown and she's not even pregnant. Barat's getting impatient. I wish I could. Just go and walk the deep roads until we find a magical crystal kingdom and live happily until the stones embrace. But it's not happening. You know the other options. Cleaning middens, begging, going to the surface. No. Unless you find a way to save us all from Darkspawn and become a paragon. We're pretty much on Barat's leash for life. It's sheer folly. One more way the nobles protect their status. They say casteless soldiers are more danger to each other than to Darkspawn. That it's an insult to the smith to let us touch a fine-made weapon. Truly, they just don't wish to insult the warrior caste by showing that given the same opportunities, we could lead an army just as well. Every year, more of the beasts come up from the deep roads. I've heard they've even been harrying the surface. Aye. They would even turn to humans for aid before us, it seems. There's been talk of an alliance against the Darkspawn. Even that the Grey Wardens have stepped up. But we don't have time for this now. Lesky must be waiting, and Barat won't like it if I'm late for my appointment. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you tonight.
It has begun. As you say. Very well.
Who's that? Why are you bothering me? Rika? Don't you talk to me like I'm an idiot. You think I don't know my own kid? What are you doing here anyway? Rika said you were finally making something useful of yourself. People bothering me all the time. I've got important things to do here. Very important things.
About sodding time. I was starting to think I'd have to bust in and get an eyeful of that spicy sister of yours. Growl. But no hot-blooded dwarf can help himself. Those perfect lips, just made to be screaming my name. You must have had a few naughty thoughts yourself, huh? What do you say? You know I'm kidding. It's strictly hands-off with me and Rika. But as much as I'd love to keep chatting, we better get down to business. Boss says we're out for a search and discipline. One of his smugglers is holding out on him. Name's Oskias, some surfacer. Barat got word that he's been selling shipments topside that never make it to Barat's ears down here. He wants us to find the rotter and see what goods he's holding back. All he told me is find him. Duster's got some family from the merchant caste. He's probably staying near their quarters. Whatever lets you sleep at night, my friend.
This is the end. A new archdemon is rising, and Orzammar will fall.
Hey there, Carter boy. Care to try a taste of this? Any way you like it.
2 bits for the needy. I seen you around. You one of them Barat boys. You don't know from needy. Not until you're my age. You think Barat's going to want you when you're old? Soon's your muscles go, it's the clean crew or the streets for you. You're like me, boy. No woman's gonna let you in her sheets, not as long as your face is branded. Only place for you to end up is here, watching some casteless upstarts refusing to share their coin. This'll be you someday. Soon you start to wrinkle up and Barat's got no use for you. Don't think you got anywhere to go but here.
Vermin. Pfft.
Spare silver. My boy needs Don't look at me like that. I was beautiful once. I was beautiful.
What are you doing
Have
here,
you heard?
Brand?
King's got a team who found traces of Bronca in the deep roads.
Oh? Found her body, did they?
No, tools. Signs of camp, things like that.
Paragon or not, Bronca's dead. She's been gone 2 years. No one survives the deeps that long. They say the king favors his middle son. He may even name him successor of the assembly.
Hey, boy. You look like someone who could use a spare copper. What do you say? No work, just money for something you're not even using. Much. You look like you've still got all your teeth. Nice and healthy. I craft replacements for nobles who have lost theirs. I can pay you real handsome for some of those. 1 silver for 2. What do you say? Suit yourself. Plenty of brands are willing.
you old scamp. What are you doing here? Trying to charm me out of another set of ribbons for your girl?
Trying to talk you into being my girl, Olinda. You know my heart's breaking for you.
Don't you go saying that around my husband. Who's your friend?
Hey, when I'm with a lady, the last thing I'm thinking about is you.
Well, look around, boys. I can slide you on the markup, being that you're friends, but I can't give anything away for free. Just don't touch anything if you can't meet the price.
Great prices on all arms and armor, like they were crafted by the Paragon Smith Bronca herself.
This place is going to the nugs.
Sod off, Brand.
Do you mind? I have nothing you can afford, and as long as you're here, no one else will come. Same as you. It's illegal for me to walk here without one. I'm from the surface, so by the law of assembly, I'm cashless. But I think of the brand as just a part of the license to vend my wares. I use a washable ink, and when I return home, it's gone first thing. I cannot imagine wanting to wear the beastly thing every day. If you were on the surface, you could open a shop, claim land, and start a farm, and get legally married by the human chantry. Orzammar is the only place in the world that will treat you like this. Yet you all stay. I'll never understand it. I'm sorry. I've nothing you would want. I don't sell rags and rotten food. I don't know how you castless can live like that. Fine. But try to steal anything and I'm calling the guards. Do you mind? I have nothing you can afford, and as long as you're here, no one else will come. Fine, but try to steal anything and I'm calling the guards.
back to your dirt pile, scum.
Watch yourself. The Shaper doesn't need your footprints all over his clean clothes. I happen to be doing the personal washing of the third assistant to the Shaper of Memories. He's from House Harrowmont, you know. It took my mother 5 years of sewing dresses for the head maid to get me noticed. Mother tells me they never considered a single other candidate when the position opened for underwasher. They control Orzamar's memories. They oversee births, marriages, death records, histories, everything we do or are. Except you, I guess. Casteless and criminals aren't allowed in a Shaper's presence. Whatever horrid deviants you're descended from were written out of the histories and deemed unworthy to join the ancestors. Obviously they bred anyway, but their children can't possibly deserve the same protections as those who were legitimately born. As if I'd stop for you.
I assume this pile of worthless junk belongs to you? You realize it's in the way and that the patrols will not be able to come through? Move it. Or I shall have it thrown out in the deep... The ancestors were smiling on my bets today. Another round from the house.
Hey, I was saving that seat.
That's real thoughtful, Ascaius. It's tiring work looking for you.
How do you know my name? I don't know what you're talking about. You probably have the wrong Ascaius, see? I just got here this morning. I'm usually on the surface, and...
So you're not the turncoat two-faced swindling duster Barat told us about.
I never did anything. Barat's got no reason to send you after me. You mean you're not here to kill me? Look, I always been loyal to Barat. He's been good to my family. I know how much I owe him. I haven't. I wouldn't. I'm getting out of here. You two are mad. Barat knows I'd never betray him. I'll tell him myself.
You're not going anywhere. Could everyone who isn't about to die please turn around for a moment? This may be unpleasant. Thank you.
You can't do this. Help! Call the guardsmen! This is murder!
You two let me know if you need anything. I'll be in the back.
It's just a bunch of rocks. You're gonna kill me for that? Then let me go. Tell Barat you killed me. I can run to the surface. He's never gotta hear of me again. I'll give you the lyrium. Do whatever you want with it. Give it to Barat. Sell it yourself. I don't care. Keep the lyrium. It's worth plenty to the right buyer. Yes, I'll go back up to the surface right now. I'll move to Orlais, to Antiva. Thank you. You're as noble as you are strong. May the ancestors bless your steps.
Didn't know they let your type in here.
They say the warrior cast is hosting a proving so the Grey Wardens can look for candidates.
Do you mind? I'm in the middle of a conversation.
Can a man drink in peace?
Was that smart? If Virat finds out Oskias ran, he'll kill you. He'll kill me, he'll make you kill me, then yourself. Then he'll probably stew us and serve us to the poor. And leave behind all this? We should bring Virat delirium, as proof of what Oskias was doing.
The king is old. His rule won't hold much longer.
Prince Balin seems far more sympathetic to our interests than Trian.
Balin has some tastes of his own that he knows I can provide. We'll finish this later. It's about time you two showed up. What happened with Oskias? That's all? I guess the Duster was smart enough to keep his main stash topside. And Oskias himself?
Absolutely. Dead as a plate of chops. Screaming for mercy, telling the ancestors to bless your name. Real dead.
Very interesting. Seeing how my cousin was at the Tapsters this afternoon. And he says he saw something change hands between you and Oskias. And then the Duster Sodding stood up and walked out on his own 2 feet. Does that sound like what I asked? Jarvia, what does that sound like to you?
Sounds like some jumped-up face brands thought they could take a bribe and let him walk free. That's just not right.
The lady says it's not right. You wouldn't disagree with a lady, would you?
Right. I mean, no one's gonna say spit to you, Barat. But we can't move that free. We needed to get Oskias somewhere private. We took him to the lava sinks behind the mines. You won't be seeing him again.
You think I'll trust you over my own blood? This one's been thinking to defy me since the day we met. Thinks he's got some big bridges to fill, but there's just not much there. You're both on loose sand with me, but I'll give you one more chance. One job. You're catching on. The Warrior Cast is hosting a proving today. All the best fighters, last man standing, you know the sort of thing. They're showing off for some Grey Warden who's looking for candidates to drag off to a life of eternal glory. Now, it's not often we get every named fighter in Orzammar lined up like that. And I have certain acquaintances who take an interest in this sort of thing. Topsiders see a couple of Darkspawn, they start crying and running to Papa Orzammar. They know dwarves are the best when it comes to darkspawn. So they're here to recruit a couple of bodies to prevent another blight. Because why should humans have to live with what we get every day? Are you out of your big hollow skull? No brand's allowed to hold steel in the proving ring. It would be an insult to the ancestors.
Not to mention the conceit of the warrior caste.
I just want you to make certain the right man wins. There's a lot of coin to be made when people get the fever up. Favorite fighter's an officer named Minar, veteran of 4 Darkspawn campaigns. Havaird's a long shot. Just got back from a deep roads offensive. Some young buck who has all the ladies drooling. I've got a lot of money riding on him. Mine and other people's. I expect to see that 8-to-1 pay off. Understand? The fight only gets announced to contestants themselves to prevent illegal gambling. So first, you'll have to find Havaired, see who he's fighting and when. When the name Minar comes up, I want you to slip this drug into the bastard's water. It'll slow his reflexes, just enough to take the edge off, not enough to show. But it wears off quickly, so don't use it until just before his fight. You bet you will. Here's your pass to get on the grounds. The proving starts as soon as the clock strikes. And when I say I have coin on this, I'm not talking about some pittance, like the value of your life. If I don't see Havaird's name on the winner's sheet, you'd better make sure I never see you or your sister ever again.
You ask too many questions. All you've got to know how to say is, "Aye, mistress." You don't recognize me?
You know Jarvia, right? Barat's favorite lieutenant and the only person he trusts in all of Orzammar. You know that, Jarvia.
All you need to know is that I'm Barat when Barat's not here, and I'm getting mighty impatient. Not nearly soon enough.
I don't have anything you can afford.
Turn around, Brand. No castless on the grounds. Looks legitimate. Go on through, then. But stay to the trenches. Grey Wardens don't need some eyesore getting between them and the fighters.